All right, welcome back to Rand on Real Estate. I'm Greg Rand on 77 WABC, WABCradio.com. My website is OwnAmerica.com. My book is Crash Boom, and my mission is to help you see past the pain and misery of the Great Recession and learn how to make a fortune. So we have a couple of people on hold right now that called, and I want to jump to them, and then we'll get to Craig Beggins, our resident expert on the St. Petersburg and Tampa market in Florida. So Maggie from Fairfield, Connecticut, how are you? Maggie, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks. How are you?
Good. Thanks for taking my call.
Great. What's on your mind?
Here's my question. I'm looking at trying to purchase a condominium down in Florida as an investment for my retirement. That I'm only 50, but in the meantime, I'd like to rent it out. I can certainly afford to pay for this, so it's not a cash flow issue, but what I'm trying to figure out is if I should rent it full-time for a few years and then go in and revamp it before my retirement, or if I should redo it now and rent it out as a monthly snowbird kind of place that people go down and rent for a month at a clip.
That's a really great question. Can you give me an idea of where in the state of Florida you're thinking?
Well, I'm looking at Ormond by the Sea and Palm Coast area over near Cape Canaveral.
Okay, good. I like that area. That's kind of like old Florida. It's not quite as busy as the southern part of Florida. It's drawing a lot of people in from both the north and the south. But you ask a good question. I think a lot of people probably ponder this. If you're in the process of choosing a place that you think you love enough to want to end up retiring there, you don't have to buy a place and then go to that place when you go and visit your destination, okay?
Right.
Because you're 50 and you've got plenty of time ahead of you still before you actually want to move down there, I like the idea of buying the best possible financial rental you can, meaning make the best decision you can from a financial standpoint, and then when you go on vacation, make the best decision you can for that vacation in terms of where you're going to stay. For example, if you look down there and thought about buying a condo like right on the waterfront, okay? The prices you can get for that, the rent you can get for that, when you do the homework and figure out what the cash flow could be. And I know you mentioned you weren't that concerned about cash flow, but I'm talking about building wealth, and I'd like to see you retire in whatever it's going to be, 10 or 15 years, as rich as you can be, okay? And so the idea that you might want to stay when you visit in the nicest waterfront condo you can, but you can rent that condo from somebody else when you stay down there for 2 or 3 or 4 weeks a year, whatever you wind up doing. But you might find that the best use of your capital is to buy something inland by a few miles, okay? Something where you can get a 2 or 3 family or a 4 family building where you can really maximize the potential and look at that building that you buy inland as kind of planting the seed for what's going to wind up being your fabulous waterfront penthouse in 10 or 15 years. Does that make sense?
Yeah, the concern I have is maintenance. I'm a landlord now where I am, and my concern is getting phone calls from 2 or 3 people that are 1,200 miles away that, have a leaky pipe or something like that. So I was a little bit worried about a multifamily kind of
the fear of the landlord call. There are more people that wake up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night being afraid of a call from a tenant than wake up with that dream about being naked in front of the classroom or something, And I totally get that. You're going to want, if it's going to be 1,200 miles away, you're going to want to have a really competent property manager down there. And the best way, and you're going to lose a little bit of your cash flow in terms of paying for that, but you're going to get it back in terms of your peace of mind. Do the homework on the property manager, check references and so forth, because, they have to be super diligent. They have to treat it like it's theirs for you to really to be able to sleep at night up here in New York or in Connecticut. So the obvious thing, Maggie, is for you to buy a place right about where you want to be and rent it out either. I like the idea of an annual rental because you can go on vacation wherever you want and you can stay wherever you want, but an annual rental that just nails the financial requirements or the financial obligations you're going to have on that condo gives you the best chance of being able to turn a 12%, a 15% annual return on this investment. And if you buy any time in the next year or two, you're going to see, I think, phenomenal appreciation over the next 5-8 years because the entire state of Florida has overcorrected. So you got lots of options here. You can always email me at greg@ownamerica.com. I appreciate the call, Maggie, very much, and I think that you're on the right track in terms of what you're thinking about and how early you're thinking about it. So good move there. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for calling.